thought I peed. Okay. Number 2. Please stop talking. Now is my turn. Thank you. Okay, so 12 is divisible by 4. So -2 times the square root of 4 times the square root of 3 plus what is 27 divisible by? 9. Don't forget the 2 in front. Square root of 9 times square root of 3. And then 6 is not divisible by any of the numbers in our list, so we just leave it 6. So at the first step, I split 12 into 4 and 3, and I split 27 into 9 and 3. Okay, now I'm going to take the square roots that I can. So -2 times 2 times square root 3 plus 2 times 3 times square root 3 minus 2 square root 6. Yes, honey. Yes. Okay. You're just ahead of me. So -4 square root 3 plus 6 square root 3 minus 2 square root 6. Gotta catch up to Landon. Okay, and these two are combinable. -4 plus 6 is +2. 2 square root 3 minus 2 square root 6. Great job. I love it. Okay, now number 4 is my favorite problem. This is the most satisfying problem. So first thing I do is multiply 5 and 20. And I get negative square root 100. Do you see why it's so satisfying? Yeah, square root of 100 is 10. So my final answer is just -10. Me liking. Okay. So I believe we are done with the packet for the day, so you can scoot your packet aside. And start by setting up these. Okay, so for your mental preparation, number 14, there's only 3 classwork problems today, but number 14 is really long. So I want you to know, just for your mental preparation, 15 and 16 are not long, just 14. 14 is a bunch of practice of the thing that we learned Friday. So if you weren't here Friday, that's going to be good because then you can catch you up. 15 is a word problem that's translating from words to algebra. And then number 16 is a word problem, but you translate to an inequality, one of these. So we have a bunch of inequalities. Then we have a word problem that's just an equation. And then we have a word problem that's going to be an inequality. Hopefully it won't take the whole time, but I'm gonna ask you to do C and D in your groups after I remind you how to do this. So it might take you a minute to do it on your own. So mental preparation on 14. Don't freak out though, 15 and 16 are not long. Okay. So this is what we learned on Friday. If you were not here, this is going to be a great time for you to catch up. Step 1 is to pretend that you have equals. So just rewrite the problem as x minus 7 equals -2. So step 1 is you're just going to ignore the inequality for a moment, and you're just going to write it with an equal sign. Okay, and we're going to solve for x, so plus 7 x equals 5. Okay, none of that should be groundbreaking for anyone in here. Okay, now step 2 is to create a little baby number line using the 5. So I'm going to put 5 down. And then I have to decide if on my number line, my circle is going to be open or closed. And the way I tell is I look at the inequality. This is just strictly less than. It's not less than or equal to, so my circle is open. This guy over here for B is going to be closed because it has the or equal to underneath. So I will color in the circle. And then I need to put 0. I only need to put 2 values on my number line, my answer and 0. And where would 0 be? Would it be on the left or the right of 5? You also need to know left and right if you're going to answer that question, which is actually harder for me than figuring out where the 0 goes. I have to do the L thing for my hand to remind myself that that's left all the time. Okay, step 3 is to test 0. And what I mean by testing 0 is I plug 0 into the very original problem and see if I get true or false. 0 minus 7 is less than -2. -7 is less than -2. That's a true statement. Okay, what that means is where 0 is the true side, and the other side is the false side. You always want to get the answer. So you're going to make your arrow on your little number line go toward the true side because that's where all of the answers are, the true answers. And then the last step, step 4, is to take my little arrow guy and rewrite that into an inequality. So x is less than 5. And on Friday, I said that you could actually cheat a little bit, take the end of your arrow and make your inequality symbol going in the same direction, if that helps your brain. Okay, now it's done. Okay, now, is anyone in the class sitting there thinking, why can't I just add 7 to the original problem and get x is less than 5? Yeah, you don't know, because remember when we were doing them on Friday, sometimes the inequality symbol switched in the middle. So you have to actually do the whole thing, sadly. Okay, B, step 1, 3m plus 2 equals 8m minus 8. solve this any way you like. I like to undo the letter that is smaller first. It's divided by 5. It's just Monday. Okay, so I got 2. I'm going to put 2 on my little number line that I'm going to make. And I'm going to put a closed circle at 2 because my original problem had the or equal to on it. And this is a positive, so 0 is again to the left. Okay, now I'm going to plug 0 into the original problem. Also. Okay, that means I'm going to put a false at 0 because I was testing 0. That side is false. The other side is true. My arrow is going to be getting the answers. I want to cover the true area. So my arrow goes toward the true. And then step 4 is to write my final answer based off of this arrow. M is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, now let's go to C. I'm going to have you do C in your groups, except I want to talk about how to undo a fraction real quick. So let's go to step 1. We have not, maybe you guys have in your homework, but I don't feel like we've done undoing of a fraction in quite some time. Okay, so for C, step 1, rewrite it as equals. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Okay, now what I like to do, there's multiple ways to do this, but what I like to do is multiply both sides by the denominator to undo the division. So I multiply both sides by 3. That gets rid of the 3 at the bottom here. It's like fraction busting. Okay, now I'm gonna actually, I promise you, I'm gonna let you finish this in your groups. However, I just want to say, this answer is the first time we got a negative. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. Is it open or closed, first of all? Open. And then 0 is going to be over here on the number line because the number line goes backwards in the negatives. Okay, so I want you guys to finish this one, test 0, and then really importantly, don't forget your final answer. And then I also want you to do D. Do not do E and F Those ones have weird answers. I want you to save those for me. So you're just working on this and this, and talk about it in your groups, please. And thank you. Talking. You should be talking. Technically, it's P, but I would not mark that wrong. I don't like it when they use it. So if this is true. It goes toward the truth. Yep. P, but yes. I don't care about that so much, but I'm just saying. I'm not gonna mark that wrong. What? But now you do need that. No, it'll be a pop. So on B, the first thing you do is distribute -3. It's gonna make a positive when you distribute. I will be safe. Okay, you guys, so just real quick, I'm gonna unfreeze the screen and show you my answer for C. Here's my final answer. P is greater than -3. Now I'm gonna do D real quick because I didn't do it before. Bless you. I got 3 so far.
Oh, you're still.
I'm doing it right now.
My bad.
No, you're fine. 1 second. I'll be right there. Bless you. Okay, so far I have X is 3 for step 1, so I got X equals 3 on the number line. I know. Can we cut down the F word slightly? Thanks. 112? That's kind of impossible. Did I got less than or equal to? Did you get less than or equal to? Yeah. Or did you get true? And I got true, so then the arrow would go to the, no, zero's on the left, isn't it? Hold on, let me, okay. True is at 0 though. Because you got,
But it's greater than 5, so.
that's not where you look. So you plugged in 0, which means it's true at 0. So we've got to go toward this way. This side will be false. So what this is saying is if I plugged in something here, all of these would be false statements. If I plug in anything this way, these would all be true statements.
So basically what you're saying is that if it was 0 or anything lower than 0, it would be true.
Correct.
But if it was anything higher than 3, it would be false.
Correct. 100%.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, you guys. I used my class buddy to help me verify my answer. Okay, I got X is less than or equal to 3. How do we do? Okay, now what I noticed as I was walking around is that this came out true, but a lot of people did not have 7. So you got true on accident. Can we verify that this is supposed to be 7? Did anybody else get 7? Mrs. Talbot losing her mind, is it 7? Anyone else get 7? Okay.
No, I got 5.
Okay.
5 is.
Oh, it is 5. You know what I did? I did the answer. I thought of the answer and I put the answer. It's supposed to be 5. See, that's what I thought. I thought most of you have to be correct. Because there's way more of you that got 5. Okay. So I thought the answer was 5 and then I wrote the answer and my brain went faster than my hands. Okay. Now, I realize that you're already ready to be done with number 14. These two are very, very quick because they have weird answers. Okay, so step 1. Okay, so I got something weird. I got the same thing on both sides. Okay. Okay, hold on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna follow this whole process because I don't need to. What I'm gonna do is go back and put the inequality symbol back in. So 9k minus 3, and I'm just gonna take the equals and change it back. When do I do that? Just when I notice I get something weird. If I get something weird, then I have to look at this and then I have to think about it like logically, which children don't like. Children like a process. They don't want to analyze. So anyway, but just pretend this is a number. Is any number less than or equal to itself? Yes. It's because of the or equal to part. So it's saying, is it less than or is it equal to itself? So this is true, which means this has infinite solutions. Okay, hold on that thought. Okay, what that means is if I tested any number on the number line, it would come out true. I could put any number I wanted in there, and I get true every single time. Everywhere. And my number line graph would look like it covered everything. Okay, now for F, I don't actually even need to do any math because I noticed that they're the same on both sides immediately. And I could say to myself, can a number be less than itself? No, this is false. So it's no solution right away. And that means I have a blank number line without any arrows on it. Okay, so be on the lookout for weird stuff. Sometimes it's infinite. That's when you have the or equal to. Sometimes it's no solution. That's when you don't have the or equal to. Does anybody need more time with the screen? Shh. Anyone need more time with the screen? Okay. You're like, what class am I in?
Yeah, I'm joking.
Geography class. Not really. Yeah, I'm really good at the US math, but getting anything out of the US, I'm terrible. And I am going to use 3 colors in this problem. So if you're a person who has colored pens, let me get those out if you want to. This is a country called Kiribati. Kiribati, Kiribati. Have you ever heard of the country of Kiribati? I had not before I saw this problem. You have? Is it like palm trees and stuff? I just get the feeling it's palm trees and stuff.
I would get that. I would get my phone. I gotta check it in.
As soon as we're done. And this will not take long, I promise.
Everybody.
Are you serious? I might have to try it. Anyway. Okay. So hopefully you've got this set up. We're gonna read, guys. We're gonna read this lengthy word problem, and then we're going to translate it to algebra. At the end of this okay, we can skip all of that. Write and solve an equation that represents the problem below. Be sure to define any variables you use. There are a total of 193 member states, countries in the United Nations as of 2014. Okay, what I want you to do is put this 193 underneath the word total that you wrote down. So underneath the word total, put 193. The Asia group has one less member than the Africa group. The European groups are smaller. Eastern Europe has four less than half the Africa group. The Western Europe group, which includes the United States, has six more than Eastern Europe. The Latin America group has 21 less than the Africa group. One country, Kiribati in the Central Pacific Ocean, is in no regional group at all. How many countries are in each of the five groups? Okay. Start with first, Kiribati is one country. So underneath Kiribati, put one. Okay, which one of the groups is most of the other groups based on? Africa. Okay, so Africa is going to be your variable. Let's put X under Africa. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We have the total of 193 countries. Kiribati is one country, and Africa is going to be our X because that's what all the other ones are based on. Now what we're going to go through and label each one of these based on algebra. Okay, starting with Asia. The Asia group has one less than Africa. What is that in algebra? X minus 1. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to put X minus 1 in parentheses and put a plus here because we're going to total them, so we're going to add them together. Okay. Eastern Europe has four less than half of Africa. Eastern Europe has four less than half of Africa. How do I write that? Four less than half. Okay, other way, almost. So 1/2 X minus 4. The less than means subtraction that comes off the end. Okay, let's practice that again. The Western Europe group, which includes the United States, has six more than Eastern Europe. So Western Europe has six more than Eastern Europe. Yes, 1/2 X plus 2. Great job. I just took the -4 and added 6. Plus, okay, we have one more, Latin America. The Latin America group has 21 less than the Africa group. X minus 21. Great job. Okay, so X plus X minus 1 plus 1/2 X minus 4 plus 1/2 X plus 2 plus X minus 21 plus 1 equals 193. Yikes. Okay, now I'm going to take my red pen and I'm going to underline all of the like terms of X. And I'm going to take my green pen and underline all of the like terms that are constants. Yes, yes. You could do like one underline and two underlines. You could do dashed solid. You could do whatever you want. Okay, so how many X's are there total? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4X. And then I have -1 minus 4 is -5 plus 2 is -3 minus 21 -24 plus 1 is -23. Add 23 to both sides. Okay, last thing I'm gonna do on this problem is I'm gonna figure out how many each has, and I'm gonna put it in parentheses next to the name up here. So Africa has 54 because that's X. Asia has 53. Eastern Europe, half of 54 is 27. 27 minus 4 is 23. 27 plus 2, 29. 54 minus 21, 33. And 1. And those should all add up to 193, which they do. Okay, we have one more problem. Then I have a joke. Oh, it's good. Okay, I can't tell you. I can't spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. Okay, last problem of the day. I just got excited about my joke. Okay, so in 1912, Japan gave the United States several thousand flowering cherry trees as a symbol of friendship. Similarly, the nation of Cameroon plans to give flowering sacha trees to other countries this year. When asked how to decide which sacha trees make good gifts, Cameroon's chief arborist explained, "We plant sacha trees when they are 6 centimeters tall, and they grow 9 centimeters every year. The trees only flower when they are taller than 150 centimeters." Okay, so we're going to take this information and rewrite it into an inequality. We're going to start with the start, which is 6. Okay, so we have, they start at 6. And how much do they grow every year? 9. Okay, so I'm going to put plus 9x. So this is the y-intercept is 6, and the slope is 9. And then the trees only flower when they are taller than 150. Which inequality symbol should we use for the word taller? Greater than. And if you forget which one is greater than, please have a look up at the crocodile posters on the wall. Okay, step 1. Okay, step 2. I'm going to put 16 on the number line. Should it be open or closed at 16? Open. And should 0 be on the left or the right? Left. Now, as far as I know, 6 is not greater than 150. If you think it is, I have $6 to trade you. That was supposed to be fun. Okay, so I got false at 0. So I'm going to put a false at the 0, which means the other side is true. My arrow goes toward the true. That's not step 3 again, Mrs. Talbot. X is greater than, so that means that the trees will flower greater than 16 years. Which is older than most of you. Okay, one last thing, I have to show you my joke and then I'm done. Really excited about my joke, as you can tell. Okay, so here's the agenda. We're doing 14 through 16, which we just did. There's my best friend up there. He helps me teach inequalities. Okay, homework is 17 through 22, and it says, so how long is this punk rock phase going to last? Get it? Punk rock.
Okay. There you go. Please, thank you.
Thank you. Oh no, I gotta do the crocodile thing because I love him. Thank you.